We are driving from Croatia to the UK in 2.5 days, but last time we only just made it out of Croatia.
So we've flown into Croatia and then just broken down in various different vehicles.
So today we had a huge drive on our hands to get back on track, but would the cars survive?
We've lost him on the motorway. Right, we've woken up, it's the next day. This was my bedroom in the end last night. It was not great. All right, we've decided that I'm now taking Miles today for the second part of the trip, which means you get the luxury of a Volvo. That is the most scenic Ollie lifting a bonnet of Miles I've ever going to take on this road trip.
And with John filled up with coolant, again, I jumped into Miles.
Hey Miles, right, we're in. Oh, this is terrible. How has he sat like this? This is ridiculous. Okay, welcome to day 2. We've obviously switched. I'm now in Miles, which is really exciting. Our next leg of the journey, we're going over to the Alps, which is just insane, and then hopefully over to Germany today. We're just going to hit the road immediately and just get going.
Last night, we managed to cover a good chunk of Slovenia, but that was all in the dark. So today, I was excited to experience it in the light with Miles.
Okay, bracing myself. We're about to experience Miles at motorway speeds, which isn't going to be great. I've had some sleep as well, which is something for the first time in about 48 hours. Obviously, I slept in the back of the Volvo last night, which is surprisingly comfortable, except for the seat belts. I've now got that imprinted on my back, which isn't great. There's no hotels or anything like that for us. We are raw dogging this experience. And you know what? It's so worth it because we're getting closer and closer to the Alps now. And oh my God, it's so pretty up here.
I needed a good quality dash cam to capture this and any trouble on these big road trips, and luckily, thanks to this week's sponsor, VIOFO, I can. This is the A329S by VIOFO, and it's no ordinary dash cam, it's a full 3-channel system, and these driving shots you are seeing are actually being recorded and filmed by the VIOFO. Thanks to its 3 Sony Starvis 2 image sensor, it's capturing crystal clear 4K footage in the front and 2K in the cabin and in the rear.
It was really easy, even for me. I just connected it up to a 12-volt outlet, hit all the cables, and it looks like it's been installed from factory. Whether it's somebody cutting up in front of you or even behind you, this dash cam will capture everything. And thanks to its 3 HDR cameras, you're going to be able to balance out the bright and the dark spots, meaning you should be able to capture number plates even in poor visibility.
During those nighttime drives, you get to experience low light performance inside and outside the vehicle.
This is something I could have done with a few months ago because I left my work van outside my house and someone actually broke into it and stole all of my work tools. If I had something like a VIOFO dash cam, I could have caught their registration plate when they parked in front of my van and maybe even their faces.
Thankfully, in the event of it happening now, even if you are parked up, this has a low impact detection. So if somebody was to bump into you, it would start recording within 2 seconds of impact. VIOFO also has a hybrid parking mode, so you can set it to record with a cutoff. So if you need to do a bit of shopping for an hour, it will record that entire hour with a low bit rate, and this will reduce the drain on your car's battery.
If you want to see the full potential of this incredible dash cam, then don't forget to check out the link down below.
This morning, the knocking noise has got slightly worse. I've also found a new knocking noise, which I believe is something to do with the steering. But other than that, she's doing all right in the minute. Starting to find her quirks. And we're back on the road for, well, probably at least another 12 hours of driving today. Let's get some miles behind us and see where we can find.
Flippin' heck, so this is my first time driving Miles, and of course it's as we go into the Alps. This is, sorry to be rude about your car, Alex, a bit crap, but like really a bit crap. This makes the Volvo feel like a Rolls Royce. Honestly, it's so, I've never known a baggy clutch before, and the gear stick is just hopeless. He looks great, but doesn't drive great. Sorry, Alex. The brakes don't really work either. Alex said the brakes were good on this. What has he been driving to make these the good brakes? God, this car. It's like trying to drive a church around. It just, nothing Oh, come on.
But as it turns out, Miles really doesn't respond well with insults and immediately punished me with electrical failure.
Miles developed another problem. The windows didn't work on this side. They no longer work on that side either. I have no windows that go down now. Yeah, I have nothing works.
And to make matters worse, we found ourselves in traffic for a toll booth, where it didn't cross my mind I would need to put the windows down to pay, so I prioritised eating a croissant. Which went well.
So the window doesn't work. Sorry. Yes.
Oh, Jesus Christ. So after that embarrassing exchange, we found ourselves in the breathtaking Austrian Alps.
If I lay here, if I just lay here, would you lie awake?
Oh my God. I know I keep saying it keeps getting prettier, but this is something else. Look at this.
Eventually we made it into the most scenic petrol station I've ever seen. Ollie did the obligatory fluid checks, and of course John needed more coolant, and after I got in the way of the shots, we carried on our epic drive.
So we just stopped at a quick services just to top up the cars, and I've made a catastrophic mistake. I've just invested quite heavily into 2 bottles of fizzy water. I don't know, I didn't realise. Nobody drinks fizzy water. We can't even use it as coolant. Oh, never mind. I know we're not even halfway through this road trip, and that's the mental thing, because the amount of driving we've actually done is insane. And to give credit to the cars as well, they're actually doing really, really well. The Range Rover is surprisingly economical. Ollie's managed to get about 30 out of it. Whether that's a lie or it's probably actually, it's lying, isn't it? But surprisingly, the massive, great big land yacht that is the Volvo is the most economical. We haven't had to top up once. It's only used quarter of a tank, which is crazy. Either the fuel gauge is broken as well, or it's a really economical car, the Volvo.
But a little while later, we finally got some very heavy rain, but that also meant some very heavy traffic, and Miles wasn't particularly fond of very heavy traffic.
Okay, sit rep. We're stuck in stop-start traffic, and I've got stop-start clocks as well. They literally just keep completely failing and then coming back on and failing again, so it's not great. As soon as we're literally stuck here, my engine's off. I'm going to try and catch up with Ollie and see how bad everything is on his side. I don't know why I think it's going to be bad. Hello, Ollie. How bad is everything in the Range Rover right now?
Well, it certainly could be better, put it that way. The knocking tappity noise, whatever you want to call it, has got slightly louder. Trying to baby it how we are, and we should be all right, mate. I'm looking forward to it. Other than this miserable rain, there's not really much we can do with that.
No, we can't change the weather on this road trip, but we can choose the road trip.
Mate, the road trip is the definition of life. This is the definition of living life. I couldn't think of anything better to do. The scenery, there are just no words. I know Matt likes to use his phrase all the time, so I'm not going to use that. But all I'm going to say is it's just undescribably incredible. That is just it.
2 words that don't usually go together, but for this one, I think I'll allow it. It's stunning, isn't it? We've gone through everything so far. We've done mountains, we've done very gravelly roads. I'm coughing on a peanut. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, on the note of the actual journey and how much further we've got to go, looking at the map, we've actually got to drive further than we have already driven. And we've also got to sleep in the car again tonight.
So with Ollie absolutely brimming me with confidence, we sat in our stop-start traffic for hours until eventually Ollie decided he'd found a shortcut.
And we found a little turn off just up here on the right, which loads of people are doing on the hard shoulder, which is good.
And with Ollie now leading the convoy, we all blindly followed him until eventually...
I'm not convinced this is the main road we should be taking. Guys, are we sure about this?
Not really, but we're on it now.
Fantastic. Look at this! Yeah, so someone's put Ollie in charge of directions, which means we're now... wherever this is, where this is, I know this isn't right, but I guess we're here. Ollie, I've suddenly decided I really like your sat nav.
I don't know where that road was, but I got from it.
That's too much information. I am really starting to love Miles as well. He's so basic, but he just plods and just keeps on running. Especially on these back roads, which we're now on, it's so much more fun to drive. And he can let his hair down a little bit, but not too much because he's receding, he's getting quite old. Alex, I was talking about Miles, just so, yeah, it's fine.
And we even had time for a bit of geography with Matt.
There's a bit up there I didn't even see. So there's a mountain, but on the mountain there's a mountain, and it looks like it's cloud, but it's an actual other whole mountain. Earth is amazing, isn't it? I clearly don't get out much, but this is just incredible. I know this sounds a bit silly, but isn't life absolutely mental? 2 days ago, I was sitting on a customer's driveway pulling out weeds from their gravel drive. Now I'm in Auto Alex's Miles in a convoy with my mates driving through the Alps. What is going on? I know my tiny rubbish GoPros aren't doing this place any justice at all, but I cannot express the sheer size of the Alps. Although I have to stress we are now driving at some very, very steep parts, and I'm quite thankful I'm not in John, because I imagine he's getting quite warm in there.
We carried on our adventure through this stunning landscape. We were absolutely shattered, we hadn't eaten properly, and we hadn't even washed. But weirdly, none of that mattered. Still in disbelief about the entire situation, our little convoy ploughed on, until eventually...
Everyone!
I have a very exciting announcement to make. We're in our 4th country now. We've just crossed the border and we're in Germany, which of course means we're going to get onto the Autobahn. Now obviously I will be babying Miles. He's not mine, so I will just be looking after him throughout this trip, as I have been doing, but especially as we're getting closer and closer now, because the miles are racking up on Miles. We are currently on 462,000 miles. I no longer have windows that go down, and it is unbearably hot in here. I've turned the fan off, obviously for filming, but even when it's on maximum, it's not good enough. It is so warm. You can probably see how warm it is. I don't want you to smell how warm it is though, because it is awful. And that brings me on to the next topic, showers. We haven't had one of those for 2 days now and been sleeping in the car. So the plan is we've found an overnight stop, but it is 6 hours away. It's currently just gone 5 o'clock in the evening, and obviously we've been driving forever. So this is a bit of a big push to get to the overnight stop tonight. But if we make it, it means we've only got 7 hours to get through the rest of Germany, France, and across the ferry back into England and home again tomorrow. So that'll be the smallest amount of driving if we can do it today. We're gonna chew through many more miles now and just get it done, because this is turning into a monster of a road trip. Great fun, but I think the heat is the worst issue I've got.
So as we headed into Germany and John managed an entire country without breaking down, I thought it was a good idea to sing his praises, which always ends well.
Something quite funny that I've noticed on John is he is plastered with 500,000 mile high mileage club stickers all over him. Now obviously he's done 720,000 miles now. That's 220,000 miles more than what all the stickers say. So although he's boasting that, he's also done more mileage from then onwards that a modern car probably wouldn't be able to do. He is an amazing piece of equipment, is John the Volvo.
And this is exactly why you don't bring up reliability 600 miles away from home.
I think we've lost him on the motorway. We have just pulled over at some services. Let's see what's happened. Oh no, he's limping it, he is limping it. I assume it's just a mild breakdown. It's nothing we haven't seen before, but it's always a little bit scary. And poor Liam's driving him as well. This is his first time with it.
But fortunately, we still had our state-of-the-art communication system.
What's the warning light on the dashboard?
At Ramsden, we just go around the loop. Follow me, I'm probably gonna get that right.
What? It turns out I think we're parking up at the breakdown area.
Fortunately, it was just the usual coolant issues with John, but we were really behind schedule if he wanted to make it to the overnight. So we got back on the road for another big stint. And after cursing John by talking about how great he was, I turned my compliments towards Miles as I owed him an apology.
I have a bit of a confession as well regarding Miles. You see, at the beginning of this video, I slagged him off a lot on the first day, but now I really, really like him. I can completely understand why Alex absolutely brought him back and fell in love with him again. He's a brilliant car. Now, don't get me wrong, he's crap. The electric mirrors don't work, the electric windows don't work, none of the instrument cluster works at all. The gear stick doesn't really connect to the gearbox, there's no radio, there's no air conditioning. But, and it is a big but, despite all of these issues, I know he's gonna be fine. Like, he's gonna be fine. He's gonna make this trip and it will be absolutely fine. And that's the thing, on face value, he's not really worth anything at all. He's pretty rusty, nothing really works. He's done a million billion miles, but that doesn't stop us from loving him because we're not interested in anything like that. We're interested in a fun car which you can take anywhere in the world and just enjoy and not have to worry too much about. I have to worry a little bit because he's not actually mine, but he's just a pleasure to drive. What an awesome car Miles is.
A shadow to despair at me, spirits in the dark awaiting.
Although this turned out to be the last good thing I had to say for the rest of the day. Our convoy ploughed on through Germany for another 4 hours. Although we would be sleeping in our cars again tonight, we were motivated by a warm shower and our first meal on this trip that wasn't from a petrol station.
Be the one to take my soul and make it undone. Be the one to take me home and show me the sun.
But inevitably, as the sun started to set, John started overheating, so we limped him to the nearest services. But this was the first time we had seen coolant leaking out the bottom of him. We let John cool down properly and topped up his coolant, but by the time he had cooled down, the sun was setting.
It is surprisingly dark already, but it is 8:30. We've got another 4 hours of driving, so we're going to get through as much as we possibly can and hopefully make our overnight stop tonight. So just crack on, enjoy the next 4 hours of hopefully stress-free driving through Germany, and then enjoy the rest of Germany tomorrow in the light time and France. Let's go.
Bearing in mind, two of us have no mechanical knowledge, we couldn't afford any spare parts, and we were still only halfway through this trip, we headed off into the night. A little bit nervous. Last night we wanted to travel as many hours as possible as we only had 2.5 days for this entire trip as we had to go back to work. So tonight, as the temperature was cooler, we decided to put a big shift in. Despite no real sleep and a genuine worry one of the cars wasn't going to make it, we carried on through Germany. However, we didn't get very far before one of the cars started struggling, and this time, it was Miles.
I obviously know you can't see much right now. I look like a confused drunk dad, but I just wanted to update you. Miles is really not happy. We're trying to sit at between 60 and 70 miles an hour, and he keeps on cutting out and dying and then trying to come back to life again, and it probably isn't doing the engine many favours. Sometimes he comes back to life and it's okay, and other times he dies completely. You lose all power. It doesn't stall, but you lose all power, and you sort of got to put him into neutral and oh, there you go. Look, it's, oh no, we're back. So you've sort of got to coast him and then key bang him effectively to keep him running. It's not looking good. We're going to keep going because there's not a lot else I can do. If it gets really bad, I don't want to actually damage him, I'll stop. But until then, I guess we carry on. But the dashboard is really not happy at the moment.
So we did just that, limping these 3 knackered cars across the country into the early hours of the night. Eventually we made it to our overnight, but as it was 1:30 in the morning, they had closed. So after all of that, we drove down the road, parked up and called it a night. Oh. So here we are, it's 1:51 in the morning. No, 1:52. I've locked up Miles with a seatbelt because of course I'm sleeping in the back of him tonight and that door doesn't lock. And back here, you can't really see, but this is my bed for the night. Lovely. I'd be lying if I said we planned this properly. Night.
Right, it's time to attack back. And we are cutting this far too tight. If any of these cars break down, that is game over for us. Let's just try and get home.